Okay, so jQuery UI is an extension of the jQuery library, right? That adds even more abstractions, right? So that you can do some really nifty behavior. So I encourage you to go to their website. If you go to jQuery, you can then navigate to their jQuery UI library. They're separate libraries, okay, but you need to load the jQuery library first and then load the jQuery UI library. And we can do that here. Here we have the HTML. Let's actually build a new hello HTML here. So this would be hello.html. And in there, just let's make sure that we can navigate there. So this will be h1 hello from jQuery. Okay, let's make sure that we can navigate there. Let's see. So this would be 03. I think this would be 03, and this would be jQuery UI. Yeah, we're there. So this would be actually this is jQuery UI, right? There we are. That's where we are. Okay. So for this to work, you need to first load the normal jQuery library. So let's do that. Let's do a script. This will be source, and we're going to go up 3 times down to vendors. Then go into jQuery, and then go into jQuery. There it is. First jQuery. Then we need to load the jQuery UI library. So let's do that. The script source. Let's go up 3 times, then down to vendors, then go to jQuery, and then jQuery UI. There it is. Okay. So there it is. We've loaded those 2 libraries, and let's have a hello world of ours. So this will be JScript source hello.js, which we don't have. Let's create one right here. New JavaScript. This will be hello.js. There it is. And in here, we're going to be notified when the document gets loaded. We'd like to be notified in our init function. Everybody good? Okay. All right. One thing before I continue. Typically, notice what we're doing here. We're declaring init in the global space, right? And I said don't do that. So to fix that, what we're going to do is that we're going to wrap all our code in around the following. We're going to declare a function, right, an anonymous function, and we're going to immediately invoke it. Okay? What that does is that whatever you declare in this function, like any function, any variables declared in that function are local to that function. Yes? They are opaque to anybody from the outside. Nobody can see the variables declared in that function. Yes? They're local. So that function, init, would live very nicely in here, and nobody would ever know about that init function outside of this function. Correct? Right? And the fact that I am calling it immediately means that that function will execute instantly, right when this is loaded. But the function itself has no name. So it's not literally in the namespace, and it's executing immediately. So it's doing the same thing as if we would have put the code outside. I want it to execute, but I don't want to litter the namespace outside. So this design pattern is called the iffy design pattern, or immediately invoked function expression. Okay, it's a very common design pattern, right? So that we don't litter the namespace, right? All JavaScript code, other than TypeScript code, JavaScript code should be encapsulated in an iffy expression. Make sense? Right? So that we don't compete with other namespaces. Here we're not competing with other init functions. We're not overriding anybody else's init function. Right? This is our init function in this little namespace. Make sense? All right. Okay. Awesome. All right. So what are we doing in this init? Well, let's see. We can grab the h1, We can grab the H1. And what can we do? Well, we can do everything we used to be able to do. H1. We can grab it. We can say grab H1. Right? And obviously we can do the same things we normally could do, right? We can paint it red. Right? That's regular jQuery, right? We knew we could do that, right? But what jQuery adds is certain other behaviors. So for instance, one of the coolest behavior is that you can just make it draggable. Right? You just call draggable on it, and now it becomes draggable. You can put it anywhere you want. Okay? Or if you have line items, right? ULs that declare elements here, item 1, and this is maybe 2, 3, 4, and 5, and this is an ordered list, right? And we declared up here, right? And you can't do anything with it. You can grab the OL, and this could be called sort me, right? Or yeah, sort me. We can here grab it. You can say $ grab me that sort me, right? And make it sortable, right? So that you come here and then it becomes sortable. You can just move it around and put it in a different place. Okay, as easy as that, right? And you can make it both sortable and draggable. Not that you want to do that, but nevertheless. So you can sort and drag the UL somewhere else, right? And keep sorting, right? Obviously, it's not permanent, right? Since once you refresh, it's all gone. It's only manipulating the current DOM. Yes. To make it permanent, you would have to maybe, once you stop dragging, send a message to the server. It says, hey, this is my new position. Right? And then next time around, when this gets refreshed, you would have to go back to a server and ask, hey, what's my position? Right? Come back here, right, and update the DOM to show the current position. Make sense? And then from there on, it makes it draggable again. Right? So there you have it. Between jQuery and jQuery UI, there's a lot of really nice behaviors that can be had. I haven't even gone into all the widgets that jQuery provides, like the date picker, which perhaps today has a little bit less value since browsers already support a date picker, right? But one of the issues with browsers is that they all render it differently, right? They all have different styling. You don't have control over the styling on how it renders, right? So you could use a jQuery UI date picker so that it looks the same across all browsers, right? So you don't have to, you can style, you can provide a customized look and feel. You can have a date widget that has several months, right, or whole calendars worth, right? You can choose not only the time, but the date, the time, the minute, the seconds. So you can make it fairly complex. Here's another example for sortable, where you can connect as grids, right, and just make a little game here. You can make it portlets so that you can maybe drag from one list and drag it onto another one. So you can make like a little dashboard, right, that each one of the widgets can be collapsible, and then maybe you can drag new widgets onto here. So it's something like this we would like to build. I mean, it's really cool. I certainly encourage you to go over some of these widgets and behaviors, and it's a really good skill to have. All right? Okay, we'll continue next time.